Well, good morning everyone. Today's project is to install some articulating leg levelers on the back door of my old 14-foot toy hauler. These are the leg levelers. They work with the normal crank that you would use on your stabilizers. This foot will pivot down at as much of a degree as you need to in order to make the back door of the toy hauler flat and level like a patio. The first thing I had to do was position it so that the bottom of the frame would not hit my articulating lock. So as you can see, that actually just barely goes over the bolt, but it would be over the thin side of the bottom, so that when my lock is fully down I can still articulate it up, move it out of the way. And the top two bolts are for these two holes, and that puts this crank on the outside of the door so that when I drop the door down they're facing me, and the leg that will articulate out at an angle will come out somewhere around the bottom of the logo, about 3 feet down from the door end. You can see I already drilled the first hole to match where the first one went over there. We put the bolt through the bottom one and in from the outside here. That helps hold that up. Make sure I have the same measurement top to bottom here. And I can mark where those holes are going to go and drill those. You can see the two bolts in the front, and here's the setup carriage bolt with the inside star washer to help grip, and it's big enough to go over the square part. Don't hit the top of the bolt with a hammer, because that'll actually crush the interior of the door down rather than pulling the shape down through, which you do with the wrench. The nut is a nylon lock nut, and I have the needle nose to hold the top of the bolt edge while I'm tightening it from the bottom so it doesn't tend to spin, and I use thread lock too. And then the DAP is roofing sealant, and I put that on underneath the lip of the bolt so that it'll won't ever get any water down inside. Okay, you see I got the first one bolted on, two in the head, one in the tail, and the bolt head that's used to crank the leg down is out at the end of the ramp. Okay, I've got it drilled and set down on my sawhorse, and now that I've got the bolts lined up, I'm going to take a little bit of that roofing adhesive, and I'm just going to touch it around the holes so that when I set the bracket back down on it, it'll be a little bit of a sealant. There it is, all installed. So when I drop the door down, I can just hit that nut at the top and the leg will drop right down to the ground. Now we're going to drop the ramp. We're going to just drop it down on this sawhorse. See how they work. Alright, and it is this easy to that is up on some feet that will carry the weight of anybody who's walking on the ramp or sitting on it like a patio.